Hello everybody, welcome to the channel JI Colorist. My name is Jody, and today's video we are going to be answering the Spacetember coloring tag questions that were put out by Maria Colors. She is on Instagram and I will link her Instagram handle below. She has published 9 questions about space related items. I thought I would go ahead and answer those 9 questions while I color my first page in my new book by Maria Trolle, and it is Shooting Star. I waited for the English version to come out, so this is my very first page. I am going to be doing this side of the page here, and it is a lighthouse in the dark with lots of stars, and I have started on the water, and I am using the Faber Castell Pitt artist pen. This is a soft brush one, so it has a little bit more of a flexible nib, and it is dark indigo 157. So I'm going to finish off the water down here, and I will continue on the rest of the page. I'll either insert information about the materials I'm using on screen as text, or I will actually talk about it. But I'm going to go ahead and answer the questions. I did write down some of my answers, but I have a hard time both concentrating on coloring and answering questions at the same time. So I will insert a voiceover video, and I hope that is acceptable to you. I'm going to drop the camera. I'll try and keep you in frame. All right, let's jump in there with question number 1. Favorite memory related to space. And this is maybe not exactly my favorite memory, but it's my first memory. And that was watching on a black and white television when I was a very young child, the first moon landing of July 1969 of the Apollo 11 from NASA. And it was the first moon landing, and seeing that really just blew my mind, and it was quite incredible. Because this is water, I'm actually going back and forth, making a little bit of squiggly lines so that when it dries, if there are lines showing, that they look like ripples in the water anyways, so it's not a problem. Just thought I'd bring you up to date. I have masked off the page with some washi tape. I'm also using some Pebeo Drawing Gum as masking fluid, and I'm just I'm going to be using the distressed crayons for the background, and I don't want to have to worry about going around a bunch of these smaller objects, so I have going to mask off some of the stars, some of the dots, and definitely the moon. So those will be masked off. I'm using a silicone tipped tool, and I'm just dipping it into the drawing gum and then applying it directly onto the paper. Now I will have to wait for this to dry. So while that's drying up top, I will do some work down below. Okay, before I move on to the sky, I just wanted to update you on what I've done to the land area so far. And I have used 3 different brushes and 3 different colors of distressed crayons. I have used forest moss, frayed burlap, and brushed corduroy. So that is what is on here. I used my normal tricks of masking off with both post-it notes and a circular cardboard, and also I have used 2 Pitt artist pens for the roadway. I have used the warm gray number 3 272, and this was the soft brush one, so a little bit more of a flexible nib. And then for the top area, I also used earth green 172 in a regular brush nib. So that's how that's looking, and I'm just waiting for all this to kind of dry down. I will come in probably with some pencil and smoothen out and put in some different shadows and stuff, but at least I have the base color down, which is green and brown and light, kind of a yellowy green as well. Okay, that's an update on that. The top area is still drying a little bit, but it is getting almost ready to the point where I can start the sky. So as soon as that's ready, we'll get going. For the smoke that's coming from the chimneys from the town, I am using Gelatos. It is the Silver Ice, and it is from the metallic set. Question number 2, favorite space movie. There are so many space movies that, you know, it's really hard to pick just one, but probably my first 3 Star Wars movies that I watched as a young child were my favorite, and also Apollo 13. I really enjoyed that, and I think it's because of the first memory that I had, which was the Apollo 11. So the Apollo 13 movie, where they had to overcome a lot and get back to Earth, I thought that was pretty spectacular. Question number 3, favorite space TV series. And I would have to say Star Trek, The Next Generation, where Jean-Luc Picard was the captain. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the whole Borg plot line as well, and also the next series, which had Janeway as the captain. So question number 4 is your favorite space coloring book or page. So I'm just going to share a couple of the books that I have. Small Victories is not a space book, but I did my space page this month and I had quite a bit of fun. So here is the page that I did. I blacked out the background. I then used a variety of other materials. I also used some Gelatos to make kind of like a Aurora Borealis type thing going on in the sky. And yeah, I really like how this page turned out. It was turned out the way I envisioned it. So this is a current month page, and yeah, so, and I did post this to Instagram. Okay, and that was from Small Victories. The other one I have is The Way Home by Morgan O'Brien. So this is his book that's no longer available to buy, but you can get it on his Ko-fi website as a free download. And this was a project book from Jojo Zahana's channel. She was doing a full book color along. Grogu in 2022 was the hashtag. And I completed this book a long time ago. There is a complete flip through on my channel. And I used a bunch of multimedia. Let me just zoom you out a bit. Okay, well, hopefully that's a little bit better. So as I mentioned, The Way Home, a galactic coloring book, is a completed book for me, and I have posted a completed flip through of the whole book. I used lots of different backgrounds, and this was featured in some of my background series. So I really enjoyed having fun with it. I am a Grogu fan. I watch the Disney Plus television series. So yeah, I really just had lots of fun, and probably, like, I even used some papers and stuff. So yeah, this was a book that got lots of love, lots of different mediums. Happy with how it turned out. Probably one of my favorite pages is this page, and that's because I used some scrapbook paper, and then I also did the background behind the paper. Yeah, and then the last, I like this one too. I added the moon. So I just had a lot of fun in this book, and this one was the last page, and I said he has found home, and I did a bunch of little stamps of different alien type things and some stars, and I drew in the planet here and the little astronaut there. So yeah, and I enjoyed The Way Home. I liked this book so much that I did actually buy another book that I haven't colored in yet. This is The Mandalorian. coloring book, and it is an official Disney coloring book. So I plan on coloring something soon in here. But yeah, lots of all of the different characters from The Mandalorian itself. And I really am pleased with this. It's a single-sided book, so that's kind of nice. So when there is a double page spread, they've alternated where you'll have 2 blank pages. So that is The Mandalorian. A couple other fun space themed items are some diamond painting stickers that I completed. It was a set, and I just trimmed them out. This is a little Mandalorian here. This is the helmet, the Stormtrooper helmet. This is obviously Grogu in his carrying pod. And yeah, so this is one of my favorite sayings is, "This is the way," and I just want to share those with you as well. Okay, I've decided to stick with the Ranger Distressed crayons, and what I'm going to do is apply them wet, and so then they're going to be more like a watercolor. So I have got my Tim Holtz Media Matte here, and I have scribbled some faded jeans. I'll show you that. And so I've faded jeans here, and then I've also got Dusty Concord. I have a regular flat type, well, it's more like a filbert small paintbrush. I'm using a bit of water, and I'm mixing it on the palette here and bringing it onto the paper. So I'll just show you that. And that way I have a bit more control about where it's going. And yeah, so that's the plan. And I'm going to, and I can dry brush right over the area where I have the Pebeo Drawing Gum, and it won't lift. If I brushed hard with the stiff brush and used this dry, you do run the risk of removing the drawing gum, but if you're just doing it with a watercolor brush and lightly going over it, you shouldn't have any problems. So I'm just mixing a little bit of the blue, and then I'll come in with some purple. So I'll have some areas of the sky that are purple, and I'm being careful not to go this area right here where it is going to be the light from the lighthouse. So I'll keep doing that while I answer a few more of the questions. So just to catch you up a little bit on the questions, number 4 we covered off. That was the favorite space coloring book, and that would be The Way Home. My favorite coloring supplies to color space would be multimedia items. I really like to use metallic watercolors, use a lot of water-based items, but I also like to bring in scrapbook paper and sparkly bits. So anything goes on a space page, which is kind of fun. Number 6, my favorite coloring space page, again, was in the I showed you earlier, and it was in The Way Home. And really any of those pages that had elaborate backgrounds would be one of my favorites. Number 7, what do you love about space theme? And I'm an accountant, and I'm a very realistic, normally type colorer. So for me, coloring and space, it suspends realism and it's endless possibilities. So really anything goes, and I could really embrace being a little bit adventurous. So that's what I like about space coloring themes. Question number 8, favorite space quotes. And there are so many awesome quotes. A lot of them come from the oldest member of the Jedi Force, which is Yoda. And I love his "do or do not, there is no try." and just anything that comes from Yoda is usually a really good gem. I also like from The Mandalorian, "This is the way." And probably the quotes that I am love quite a bit also are from the Star Trek The Next Generation, which is like Jean-Luc Picard saying, "Make it so," or "engage." And I quite often would tell my husband that I'm number one and he's number two. And the Borg assimilation is futile. There's just so many awesome quotes that we can get from our favorite space movies. If you would like to participate in answering any of these 9 questions, you can do it on Instagram and tag Soraya Colors, or if you have a YouTube channel, by all means have a video and make sure to tag Soraya so she can see your answers as well. If you have a favorite space quote, leave it in the comments below, because I would love to hear it and read it. And our last question is, would you travel in a spaceship? Let me ponder that. Okay, this is after 1 coat. I will let this dry and then come back in and deepen up some colors. But I am liking the way this is turning out so far, and no bleed through as of yet. So happy. Okay, I'm back and I'm working on the background for the sky. The sky has dried. I started out with the Dusty Concord and the Faded Jeans, and I put them on wet. I'm now taking dry, and I am using Shaded Lilac and just going over top of it to darken up the colors a little bit and see how that looks. So again, rubbing it onto my media mat, picking it up. I'm just using a small dry brush, and I'm coming along and adding some additional color on top of the color that's already there, and not in everywhere. I'm just adding it to certain spots, trying to get rid of any white of the paper or any areas that look that they really need more. Our last question, number 9, would you travel in a spaceship? And at first I said no, because I'm on oxygen and it's very hard for me to travel anywhere without a great deal of stress. But then I thought, if that wasn't an issue and I just wanted to travel and I wasn't scared of heights, then yes, I think I would. I think it would be interesting to see the world, what's beyond the world as we know it. And so yeah, I'll go for it. What I would really like is a transporter button, and I would love to be able to transport myself places quickly. I don't want a smooth look, I do want a modeled look, so that's how that will do. And I'm going to continue on with this. Eventually, once I'm done and happy with it, I will remove the masking fluid off of the dots and probably use either a gel pen or some metallic watercolor to add back the stars and stuff. So, but if you tune in to my September 2024 completed pages, that's where you will see the final page of this picture from Shooting Star by Maria Trolle. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for coming along and listening to my space related answers. I hope you had some fun, and until next time, I hope you're having a creative and colorful week, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.